Hey, thanks for checking out Fast Eddie's Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. Um, there's only one way to explain, or one theory that actually works to explain what's going on right now. They want bad behavior. They want chaos. I'll tell you a little story about what happened to me the other day. I went to a local grocery store, Vons, was filling up a water jug. Out comes this older gentleman, too old to be working, but in today's economy, I guess he has to work. But he came out yelling at a guy that came out of the store carrying beer in one hand and a bottle in the other. And he was yelling at him. He said, I think he said his name was Eric. Eric, I know you live across the street. Don't come back here again. What are you doing? He pulled out his phone. He was filming it. And when he was done, he said that guy just walked in and grabbed a case of beer and a bottle and walked out. I said, oh, man, that's a shame, man. All these laws, anything under $900 is basically a ticket. But this is happening all over the place, but in particular California. And he said, that guy comes in here a couple times a day, walks across the street, goes shopping. The only reason he doesn't grab a cart, he said, because the carts have locks on them, so that if you get to the perimeter of the parking lot, the wheels lock up. He goes, otherwise he would come in and grab a cart and just fill the cart up and leave. But what he does is he comes in a couple times a day, grabs his lunch, grabs his dinner, grabs his beer, and just walks out. And he said, there's nothing I can do to stop it. The store, the police won't even come because it's not really a crime anymore. So doing this is encouraging bad behavior, and it's going to make good kids bad. Let me explain. When I was a kid, I wasn't the greatest person on earth. I did things that I shouldn't have done. But then I got older and looked at what I did, stupid stuff like that, and went, what was I thinking? I'm an idiot. I'm a hardworking guy. And as I got older, I started getting mad at kids that were like me. But back in the day, if a kid was, breaking bad, if you will, it was in secret. Him and his inner circle, but, you tried to get away with it. If somebody was shoplifting, they'd try and get away with it, because if you got caught, they'd march you back to the little room in the back, call your parents if you're underage, and the police, and then you get a record. First time's probably probation. Second time, you're going to start getting locked up. And it kept kids that were breaking bad from going, some at least, would stop it from happening, because they're like, hey, man, I don't want to get in trouble. This is ridiculous. And you grow up. If you were a kid that did stupid stuff when you were a kid, you grew up. The law helped you grow up. But today, kids that are doing that dumb stuff, they have no reason. If I was a young man today, my God, keep it under 900. And there are groups, gangs that do this. They go store to store to store, go in, grab an $850 TV, walk out with it. You go do that, hit up a couple stores, go work 2-3 hours a day and make $1,000 a day just by selling stolen goods. And there's no risk of going to jail. That is insane. You're encouraging bad behavior, but you're also encouraging bad behavior amongst the good kids. Because eventually the good kids look around and say, Tommy's wearing all the latest Levi jeans. He's got all these clothes because he walks into the stores and grabs what he wants. My folks don't have a lot of money, so I'm wearing, maybe hand-me-downs. Maybe, we're maybe new, but, I got one nice pair of jeans. The rest are, Wranglers from Walmart, whatever. Yeah, that should date me a little bit when I say Wranglers from Walmart or Kmart. But those kids are eventually going to look at this and go, why aren't I wearing the nice clothes? Why don't I have the latest whatever, the latest iPhone, the latest whatever? Because I can walk in, grab it, and the employees aren't even allowed to touch me. The reason they're not allowed to touch them, because I was scratching my head at that for the longest time. Why aren't the stores, they hire security guards, and the security guards will stand there and, thieves are walking out of stores. Go look on YouTube saying thank you to the security guards. And they're not allowed to do anything. Why? Because the employers are more afraid of the massive lawsuits if that guy gets hurt. So if they try and apprehend a thief and they get hurt in the process, they could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions rather than an $850 TV. They are forcing businesses to get out of business in some locations, in some parts of town. And then the folks in the bad parts of town are wanting to sue the stores, saying that they're, they're racist or whatever. They're not giving that community, I think, what was it, Walgreens? Somebody's trying to sue because they're not giving the community a chance to get their medications and stuff. Well, they're a business. If you're a corporation, you're beholden to the stockholders. And if you're losing money, you can't keep a store open that's constantly just losing money just because of the community. I mean, and they portray business owners as bad, evil, wicked people, like they're sitting in the boardrooms going, what can we do that's dastardly and evil today? That's not most businesses. Sure, you got your George Soroses out there, you got your Black Rocks, you got your Schwabs, you got some nefarious characters out there, but for the most part, small to medium to even fairly large businesses aren't out there in back boardrooms planning dastardly things. They want to provide a service that people like enough that they'll go buy it and make lots of money doing so. Nothing wrong with that. But they can't keep a store open because of, the community. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but that would be actually doing the stockholders harm. Anyway, I'm getting out of bounds here with talking about the business aspect of it, but the government, in particular California, for whatever reason, is wanting things to fail. They are encouraging bad behavior. They are encouraging, they encourage people to stay home. Welfare is an encouragement. It used to not be, but now it's an encouragement to stay home because you can stay on welfare generationally. That encourages bad behavior. You want to save the taxpayers billions of dollars a year, trillions over a lifetime. I don't know what the number would be, but it's got to be huge. Require people to work for the government. The government should be a horrible job, but my bank teller told me the other day, it's my last day. I got a job working for the government down in Santa Ana. It's like a great thing. Wonderful benefits, high pay. Once you're past that first, whatever she said, 6 months, almost impossible to get fired. Really? Government jobs should be like bottom of the barrel, like, oh God, the only option left for me is to go work for the government. They should be the lowest paying jobs with the least amount of benefits. And there shouldn't be very many of them. And then you should fill those positions with people who claim they need welfare. Most people claim to need welfare. Oh, I can't work. I can't find a job. So they're encouraging bad behavior, folks. Make no mistake about it. I'm not wrong. If you think I am, let me know in the comments. But I'm not wrong.